from the western city of Lviv. We want to bring in Michael Bociurkiw. He is a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council's Eurasia Center, and he joins me now with the latest. Again, very good to see you once again, sir. So let's talk about the latest out of Ukraine. Just how much additional pressure do you believe these new sanctions will put on Putin? I feel like, you know, it feels like I've said crippling sanctions, intense sanctions, any sort of descriptive word for sanctions we've used, except it doesn't seem to be actually doing anything.
Yeah, good to be with you again, Anne-Marie. Absolutely right. There's a lot of, well, this all sounds very familiar, being spoken among Ukrainians here in Lviv today and yesterday. Look, those sanctions didn't deter Mr. Putin from invading Ukraine. It is not deterring him now. So why the West thinks that these are going to have any more impact, I don't know where that's coming from. What the Ukrainians really need, as they've said many, many times, are more weapons, especially the weapons that can strike high-flying and fast Russian missiles. In fact, I think there were about 3 last night here in Western Ukraine that were fortunately struck down, but there are more to come. So Ukraine can't understand why the West is not providing that really high-tech weaponry that it needs to defend itself.
And in regards to sanctions, at the end of the day, it's really Russian oil and gas that is funding this war. And yes, you know, the U.S. has vowed not to purchase, you know, oil and gas from Russia. But at the end, it's Europe that purchases the lion's share of this. Why is it so difficult for some of these countries to cut off Russia?
Yeah, well, you know, I think this dependency kind of tactic has been building up over the years with the Russians. They were very smart at doing this, that 40% of European gas exports comes from Russia. And now we have all of a sudden a very energy-starved India that's going to be buying more Russian energy. The Russian government is going to make more this year from oil and gas exports than it did last year, despite the sanctions. I mean, we're talking about tens of billions of dollars, which ultimately go to fund this war, the killing of innocent women and children. So it's the conversion to green energy is not going to happen quickly, of course, but they need to do something to stop that money flowing to Russia.
And now let's talk about this accusation of war crimes. President Zelensky said a genocide. Genocide has a very specific definition, but even if it's not a genocide, it's really, really bad. He has asked the UN to set up an international tribunal to investigate and prosecute Russian war crimes. There's widespread condemnation. But how do you even begin an investigation like this? And how long do you think it will take before, if this was to happen, how long would it take before we actually saw a trial?
Great question. You know, the best example I can give you is the trial of MH17, which was, you know, that incident where 298 innocent people were killed due to a Russian book missile happened 8 years ago. And the trial is still going, but Russia will not give up any witnesses or suspects. So I suspect the same thing could happen here. But having said that, it's very, very important for the Ukrainians to collect all the evidence they can right now, because guess what? The Russians are now up to the old tricks of saying this is not true, that they're trying to debunk the reports that come out of Bociurkiw and other places like that. They said when MH17 came down that the West actually put dead corpses on the airplane, and that's why we found them in the airplane like that. So it's going to be really, again, really, really important for the Ukrainians and the West to gather rock-solid evidence for a potential trial, and it hopefully will happen soon, because there's a lot of justice to be served here.
We've heard such a wide range in terms of Russian casualties, all the way up to 15,000 troops to half of that. Do we have any sort of, how can we gauge what these numbers really mean? I mean, is there any sort of accurate way to figure out exactly how the Russian military is faring?
Well, I think the best indication was, I guess it was about 2 weeks ago, when a Russian newspaper mistakenly published figures, and they were way, way higher than what the Russians were actually claiming. And then it was quickly removed off the web. But I think even despite all of the severe controls in Russia on civilians right now to speak out about this, you know, sad to say, when those body bags come back, when these mothers receive their dead sons, they, I think, will start literally screaming out and saying, what the heck is going on here? Because the numbers are going to be very big, and that's something that is very, very difficult to cover up in this day and age.
You know, we started this conversation with you saying that what Ukraine really needs from the West are better weapons. And so I want to ask you, the Ukrainian military has shocked the world with its ability to beat back Russia. Now Russia says that they're sort of, shifting and they're moving out of Kyiv. But, certainly for many observers, it seemed as if they wanted to take Kyiv and they were unable to. How has the Ukrainian military been able to do this? And will they be able to sustain it?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has been happening over the past 8 years. Better training, like NATO, better weaponry. I mean, it's a night and day difference from 2014 when we first met Ukrainian armed forces in the Donbass. But I think what you're going to see happening is the Russians relying more on cruise missiles like they did last night, more on those guided weapons that are difficult to shoot down. Their focus will shift from Kyiv more to Kharkiv in the east, and then also, I think, to reclaiming more of the Donbass, that southern land corridor, which they already have. And we're waiting to see whether they'll restart bombardment of Odessa, which, of course, is a very, very key port city, and which could, if they do detain that, could cut off Ukraine from the sea. It would make Ukraine a landlocked country. It's hard to believe that that could actually happen.
Yeah, it really is. But a lot of this has been hard to believe. A lot of people didn't predict things would go this way. Michael, thank you very much.
My pleasure.